Hello everybody, we are here with a very special guest today, Dr. Richard Ragatz. Hello, nice to see you this morning.
Thank you.
You are called many things, maybe Mr. Numbers, an industry expert in timeshare. You own a marketing research firm in the timeshare industry. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. We have a consulting firm called Ragatz Associates. We have been active for 37 years. We have worked around the world, 72 countries, over 2,500 assignments. And during the past 37 years, we have emphasized consumer research and feasibility studies. So we've been active in the industry for a long time.
And we've actually seen your name associated with many reports, trends regarding timeshare, going over to Fractional.
Right.
And also the things that you research influence what people do. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and those numbers and how that works?
We have surveyed owners at probably 500 different timeshare resorts over the past 35, 37 years. And a lot of the questions we ask are what they prefer when they buy a timeshare, what types of amenities and services are most important, price sensitivity, use plan reservation systems. And in the early years, we were very influential in influencing what product was most important to offer to consumers.
And speaking of those early years, you had some involvement with rural resorts.
We did. I think one of the very first surveys, if not the first survey, that we ever did for owners at a specific timeshare project was here at Royal Resorts, and that goes back to 1979. So it was a very early survey.
And could you tell us a little bit about those results, what you found?
Yeah, we have done, as I mentioned, probably 400 or 500 surveys since that time. And I guess the most important thing out of that entire survey was the high degree of consumer satisfaction. It was just, being the first one, we were not sure how it was going to compare to following ones that we did over the years. But I think of all the hundreds of surveys we have done of timeshare consumers, the satisfaction rate with the product and service and the purchase was higher at that survey, in that survey, than anything we have ever experienced. It was 90, as I recall, it was over 95%, maybe 98%.
Wow, that's amazing, especially after over 30 years that still
stands
out.
I know, it continues to amaze me. So it's a very, very high compliment to the developers of Royal Resorts.
And could we talk a little bit about how really was timeshare and kind of the evolution now into fractional, what you see happening there?
Right. Timeshare started back in the late 70s and has continued on since then. There's several million owners of timeshare around the world. And as you know, timeshare is sold primarily in weekly intervals. We buy 1 week per purchase. Fractionals came along probably 10 or 15 years ago, and it's just an extension of timeshare. And rather than buying 1 week at a time, you typically buy anywhere from 4 weeks at a time to a month, 3 months at a time. So it's just a larger division of time.
And you've seen the industry trend kind of start moving in that direction?
Well, it's not going to take, it's never going to eliminate timeshare. It's just another product to go along with timeshare and whole ownership, and something in between. The growth of the fractional interest industry has been extremely rapid over the past 5 or 6 years, especially.
And speaking of that, were you able to go and see our Grand Residences project?
I was. Mark Carney took me on a tour of the model unit yesterday.
Can you give us a little feedback of how you feel about the product that we're offering?
Yeah, we have, for the past 11 years, we have conducted a national survey throughout North America of all fractional interest projects. And I have conducted over the past 10 years probably 400 or 500 feasibility studies for fractional projects. So I have seen literally the vast majority of all fractional projects throughout North America. And I was telling Mark yesterday, it's hard to think of others that surpass the quality, the size, the amenities that you have here. And extremely impressive.
And you've seen lots of companies, well-known companies, Hyatt, Hilton, Marriott, Starwood.
Probably, we have worked for all of the Ritz-Carltons and the Four Seasons and the Fairmonts. Probably the only product that comes close would be something called the Little Nell in Aspen, Colorado. But there, rather than the prices that you are charging here, the price would be $1 or $2 million for the same amount of time, probably a smaller unit, and maybe some of the Ritz-Carlton projects. But again, paying a lot more for the product and a lot more for annual dues. There are a few, there's perhaps a handful of very small projects which have larger units, but they don't have the services and the amenities that go along with what you have here. So very impressive, very impressive.
And also, here being in Mexico, as we had talked about before, Mexico being one of the most frequented destinations in North America.
Right.
And can you just tell us a little bit more about it, people making investments here?
Yeah, there's an interesting statistic that one of the exchange companies has been putting out recently. And it says that of all the destinations throughout North America, that includes Canada, the US, Mexico, and the Caribbean, plus South America and Central America, there's more timeshares sold annually now in Cancun than any other location except for Orlando. That puts Cancun ahead of Las Vegas, puts it ahead of Hawaii and any place else in North America. And obviously, all the attractions that you have here, the year-round weather, the beaches, the entertainment, the restaurants, shopping, it's a very unique destination.
And in your opinion, can you tell us why people love timeshare so much and why they continue to buy it?
In the early years, timeshare used to be sold primarily as brick and mortar, the hard product, the shelter itself. Over the recent years, over the past 10 or 15 years, it has moved more into a lifestyle product, the experiential product, the services that go along with it, the opportunity to have family vacations every year, sort of a forced vacation because you have it paid for. You want to make sure you take advantage of what you spend. So it creates a sort of a perceived necessity of vacationing, and all the research that sociologists and psychologists have done over the years strongly indicate there's great value in family vacations. So if you put together the coming together of the family, or it's just the two spouses, and you know that you're going to do this every year, it's just a great, great product, and it always has been a good product.
And since you visited us back in 1979, maybe you were able to speak to a lot of people, but we have a lot of them that are still here. They're still here. They come every single year.
Isn't that amazing? That's like 40 years of owning timeshare here and returned every year. It's been a wonderful investment for those people, and it still is today for the new buyers.
As you know, Grand Residences is part of the leading hotels of the world. I think one of the first fractionals to get that accolade.
I'm sure it is. I actually don't know of any others that have been affiliated by preferred hotels, leading hotels, excuse me. I think it's a great honor, and having that association with leading hotels certainly is going to be a value added to the buyer, and certainty that the purchase value is going to be there over time. So it ensures the quality, and it ensures the investment over time. So it's a very good honor, and I congratulate you for that.
Well, thank you very much. And of course, we pride ourselves on building quality, servicing our guests. But one of the other things that's amazing that we can't really take credit for is the beautiful sand, water, weather.
But, you know, we talked a lot about the model unit for the fractional product. Not only have I seen over the years the vast majority of fractional projects, but having conducted, as I mentioned before, 2,500 studies around the world, I hate to say it, I probably have seen 2,000 or 3,000 timeshare projects. And the quality of your timeshare, not just the fractional here at Royal Resorts, is right in the top, at least 5%. And again, I congratulate you on that.
Thank you, Dr. Ragatz, for coming to visit us here at the Royal Resorts. You are one of the icons in the industry, and we're so glad to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the invitation. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.